Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Hey, welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I'm the great and strange Mr. E.
Oh, strange. I'm just Jay, and it feels good to be back.
This week is probably our freakiest fauna ever.
Oh, now that's saying something.
Yeah, it's all about nudibranchs.
Nudibranchs. Nudies.
Mm-hmm. Now
That's their nickname, right?
now, so I used to raise newts and salamanders, right?
Right.
So in the community, like,
Is
there
this
was
a nude?
No,
Okay.
but there's people that like these guys too that have shirts about them. So our shirts always said "send newts,"
Yeah, that's pretty good.
and they have the same kind of shirt that says "send nudies."
Send nudies.
Yeah. So you're gonna say the name. This creature does not have a common name.
So this is the scientific name?
Yes.
Okay, Elysia chlorotica.
Yes. I'm gonna call it the garden sea slug.
The garden sea slug.
Yeah, it doesn't have a hard, common name yet. A relatively new species that completely flipped our understanding of a lot of biology.
Well, is this in the garden or is it in the sea?
Yes.
Oh, God. Good one.
I mean, it is. So we're going to talk about this guy, the garden sea slug. If you haven't looked them up, they're extremely gorgeous nudibranch sea slugs.
Now I need to look.
I mean, they're vibrant green. They have big sail fins on each side. But they're commonly known as the eastern emerald elacia, or the garden sea slug, as far as I'm going to go with. They're found along the east coast of the United States, as far north as Nova Scotia, Canada, as far as south as Florida. These guys kind of pop up everywhere.
Okay.
They are found in saltwater and tidal marshes, shallow creeks, pools with depths of less than half a meter. The eastern sea slug is the most freshwater inclined to date.
Yeah. You said eastern?
Yeah.
Okay.
This eastern version of this.
Okay, of this one.
Yeah. There's nudibranchs. They're very complicated. They have some of the most extremely amazing forms of life on the planet in this family group.
Yeah.
But there's no common names. So I'm struggling to read everybody's name.
Gotcha. I understand. These look like a swimming piece of lettuce.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what they are.
Yeah.
These slugs can survive salinity levels ranging from nearly fresh water to brackish water to full salt water. They are generally found close to their main food source, which is intertidal algae. The sea slug has an obligated relationship with its algae for both nutrients and physical development.
Ooh. So it takes on the algae it's consuming?
So that's what we thought for a long time. They have two main life stages: the juvenile stage, which is defined by the time before the slug begins feeding on this algae, and the adult stage. The stage of development are distinguished based on the slug's metamorphosis and coloring. The slug starts as a virgil larva, meaning that they are equipped with a shell and they have a foot and everything used for swimming, and they're obligated towards food. After metamorphosing into juveniles, the slugs are normally brown. They have some spots of red pigment on their back. They only undergo true metamorphosis into adult phase after being exposed and consuming a lot of a certain species of algae. I'll try the species algae one time. Vanna charia litroriidae.
There you go. If you guys got that, just go ahead and Google that.
Yeah, good luck. At which time, its coloring and metamorphosis also changes. After the initial feeding on this specialized algae, it starts getting chloroplasts obtained from the plants into specialized digestive tract. It preserves the chloroplast, turning the slug from brown to a bright green. Most adults lose the red spots completely. The green color persists only as long as the slug has functioning chloroplast in its cells. When the chloroplast has expired, the slug loses its bright green color and reverts to its gray color. Adults normally range in size from 20 to 30 millimeters, but specimens up to 60 millimeters have also been documented. The eastern emerald elacia slug obtains its name from its adult structure. Elacia refers to the adult slug's leaf-like shape, which is, like you said, the swimming piece of lettuce.
It looks just like it.
The metamorphosis and beneficial of both camouflage and allowing the slug to be more efficient at photosynthesis. Other members of the family are distinguished by their in addition to they have other bright colors. So what did I just say there?
These slugs, we'll say, eat algae, convert it using like chlorophyll and chloroplasts, basically the plant way of consuming it and using energy. These guys are the
I'm pouring coffee.
Oh, these guys are like a blend between plant and animal is basically what's going on here.
Yes, they photosynthesize.
Yes, which is nuts.
Yeah, they are extremely crazy. So up until relatively recently, we thought that they were because there's a lot of nudibranchs that actually do this. This isn't super uncommon as far as their family group goes.
No, okay.
Which it's very uncommon in everything else, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of too many plant crossover animals. Basically, what this is, it's a mix of plant and animal. It's kind of nuts.
Up until relatively recently, we thought they were eating this, pulling out the chloroplast and chlorophyll, and putting it in specialized cells in their body, trying to take care of it. And this has happened, like I said, in other animals, and we now think that they're actually replicating the algae, the chloroplast, and the chlorophyll. So they're actually stealing the DNA from the algae and replicate it themselves.
So it's like
which is a completely different thing.
Yeah. That's pretty freaky.
A whole different level.
That's pretty freaky.
So after 20 years of studying this, once again, this slug was only discovered at like 2001.
Yeah.
So after about 20 years of studying this slug, a biologist named Sidney Pierce recently discovered the traits of unpredicted in the animal kingdom. Sea creatures were able to not just steal chlorophyll, but produce it. The University of Southern Florida researcher unveils the discovery at the Seattle this last week at the annual gathering of the Society of Integrative and Cognitive Biology. Great place to be.
I take your word for it.
Pierce observed that the slugs acquired this photosynthetic DNA from their food sources, the algae. He spoke in the Live Science about these squishy genetic bandits that eat and run. So, like, the big difference is that we thought, like, and then we talked about actually another nudibranch, the blue sea dragon.
Yeah.
And that's what he does is, he eats stinging cells
Right.
off of manowars and pushes them through their skin, and he, uses. So that's what we thought was happening here with just a different group of life. Mm-hmm. And it's not. He's actually digesting it, taking the DNA, and replicating it himself.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Yeah. It's incredible. But yeah, so these guys are neat. They're the only true chlorophyll producing animal.
Yeah.
Which is a big spike towards stuff like colonizing other planets and stuff like that. Because the big thing is like animals having to find food and stuff.
Right.
Well, they can photosynthesize. There you go.
Life finds a way.
Life's a lot easier when you can photosynthesize.
Right.
And you can move.
That's what the breatharians are slowly doing too. That's why most of them turn green and die.
No, I think they turn black.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
From all the rot.
I sent you a little meme with the nudibranchs.
Oh, God.
I just, when I was looking up pictures of them, it popped up, and I thought it was kind of funny. But it's basically two nudibranchs. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. No thanks. That's funny.
Well, maybe we'll post that on Freaky Fauna.
Yeah, if you remind me.
Yeah.
So basically, this Sidney Pierce did all this work. It's truly amazing that these guys are doing this. As long as they shine at least 12 hours of light on them, they can survive without any food.
Oh, that's nuts. That's pretty awesome. It's an actual living plant. If you had an aquarium, is he saltwater, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Well, like I said,
can they do both or no?
I said if you paid attention earlier.
What?
They are, out of all the sea slugs, the one that can handle the most fresh water.
Okay.
They are still saltwater animals. They need salinity. But as far as they can be like found in creeks and stuff like that, they have a little bit of tide flow.
We should get some. Think we can have them in captivity?
I think you can. A lot of nudibranchs are kept in captivity. So it's like, it's very specialized because you can't keep them with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other stuff will eat them.
Yeah.
And they'll eat a lot of other stuff.
Well, who wouldn't want a big, juicy piece of lettuce,
Yeah. You'd have to have an algae-rich tank.
Oh, we could do that.
It's not hard.
Not hard. Not at all. Oh, these are neat.
Yeah, these are cool little guys. I thought it'd be neat.
I encourage looking up a photo of them for anyone listening. You just check them out.
Nudibranchs are a weird group. I can't believe we haven't done more sea slugs.
Well, I mean, we don't want to be flooded with sea slugs.
But they
on
are some
feed.
of the freakiest fauna.
They are indeed.
They've taken some of the craziest shapes. Like, we haven't even talked about the giant sea slug or anything like that.
No, and there's other ones too. The one I showed you a picture of. You're like, oh yeah, that's this and this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Now there's like the woolly sheep sea slug.
Uh-huh.
That's another photosynthesizing sea slug. But that one, as far as we know right now, does eat algae and has specialized. That's why it looks like it
Stores
has
them.
mohawk.
Oh, okay.
So it has these groups of cells that are basically empty that it uses to house the algae. But there's like the ironclad snail we've talked about and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
These mollusks have taken on crazy types of life.
Life finds a way.
Mm-hmm. And it's the ocean, like nudibranchs can be very fast predators. They can be open ocean swimmers. There's, like I said, the blue sea dragon is literally eating some of those venomous animals on the planet and using their venom,
which is insane. If you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen.
Yeah, and once again, in nature, especially the ocean, if it's pretty, don't touch it.
That's a good philosophy to live life by, especially if you're living in the ocean.
If you're anywhere near the ocean, like you go to the beach and you're like, well, that thing's really pretty. Don't touch it.
Safe. That's safe practice to live by.
I was watching a guy. I know this one's a little shorter. There's not a lot on these guys. Like I said, they're relatively new discovery, and we're just still finding out some amazing stuff about them. But the fact that they can replicate DNA from not a different animal, a whole different clade of life.
Yeah. Not even kingdom. Yeah, beyond that.
Yeah. A whole different... No, you're right, kingdom.
It is? Okay.
It's the plant kingdom versus the animal kingdom.
Okay, true.
But a whole different kingdom they can replicate DNA from and then use it in their own bodies is truly amazing.
It is nuts. They're like little CRISPRs.
I think even more so.
See, nature can already do it. We don't need this fancy schmancy technology to ruin life on Earth as we know it.
Who says there's not, inside the CRISPR machines, a big sea slug?
It might just be all it is.
It's just a big sea slug.
Just sorting.
You give it samples and then it kicks you out a little vial.
They mixed it with fungus DNA and now
It's
it can
actually
think
a mushroom sitting on top of a sea slug head.
Yep.
Running the show.
Exactly. Easy technology.
Oh, what did I say? Yes, there was this Australian guy that's kind of wild that I follow on Instagram, and he goes through and like stonefish or like someplace in Australia, and they're super deadly. Like you get stung by a stonefish, it's not good.
No, it's It's very painful, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's a sucky way to die. It's like getting bit by a blue ring octopus, which is another sucky way to die, and taipans, which are the most deadly snake on the planet. But so he found a blue ring octopus in a tide pool. Literally in the background, you could see hundreds of kids on the beach.
Yeah, not good.
And he's like, it's tourist kids you got to worry about. Most of our kids know you don't mess with spiders, you don't mess with anything in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you don't go near the rocks. So you swim on the sandy part of the beach. He went over towards the rock, the tide pools areas.
Gotcha.
So most of the natives know not to go over there.
Yeah.
And that, or if you do, you watch your step and everything like that, because that's where the stonefish live. That's where. But he's like trying to he has like this little card or a little piece of plastic he's trying to get the blue ring octopus on to take a picture of.
Yeah.
And as he's doing it, it shoots up his hand.
The octopus?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
And he's like, and he's like, all right, well, we're not getting a picture of this one.
Yeah, let's leave.
And he's like, normally they're really, really docile.
Yeah.
But this one was like jumping at him and stuff like that.
Just wanted to play.
I'm guessing it had a rough day. It hasn't caught a crab in a couple days.
Oh, so it's
just angry.
Yeah.
And then this guy's like poking it with this white card.
Yeah.
Because they're one of the few octopus, they can change colors. They just don't.
Okay.
Because they don't care.
Yeah. Huh.
Once again, in nature, if something's really pretty,
don't touch it.
And it's acting like I don't know if we've ever done them on the show, but rough skin newts are another one that they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care what season. They don't care who's around them because they're so incredibly toxic. Messing with them is a death sentence for you.
Mm-hmm. And they know it.
And they know it.
Yeah.
And that's why they're fun in captivity because of that. They're always out and showing themselves as far
strutting and
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I remember when we had them. That's a species I miss keeping because they were always you could hand feed them. They'd come right over to you, and they were always real like personable and show offy.
That's pretty neat.
I wouldn't have them now with kids.
It's nature
because one of them can kill 3 blue whales. So
yeah, let's not have that around a child that doesn't know any better.
Yeah, because they will. I used to chew on my grandma's tortoise, let alone.
See what I mean? And that's what's wrong with you. Mm-hmm. You got some turtle neurotoxin.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this powerful and strange episode.
Oh, yes.
I have been the great and strange mystery.
And I've been Jay.
What's your words of weekend wisdom?
This weekend,
It's getting cold.
it is getting
It
cold.
depends on where you're living.
So if you're out of town, you got your little rural setting or something, have a fire and invite some friends over.
It's a little cold for that.
That's what the fire's for. You just have a nice fire outside and get a little wind barrier set up. Just enjoy the fresh, cold air. Your body needs it. That's all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.